Hi, I'm Pastor Sami, and I'm so glad you've decided to join me again for another special message about this week's gospel reading. Now, I probably look pretty strange to you right now, wearing a tank top, in the sun, green grass, outside, where in South Dakota, you've had snow this week, and it feels much more like winter than fall. I'm sorry, but I had a strange experience this week. So just this morning, I was taking a walk with my daughter and my dog, dressed like this, and there were people all around me wearing long sleeves, sweaters, vests. I even saw a couple of people in their like puffy winter coats. And it's 70 degrees outside. It blew my mind why they would be dressed that way. But I just imagined they were looking at me and wondering why I wasn't wearing more clothes. Wasn't I cold? What about my daughter? What a terrible mother wouldn't put a coat on her daughter. But for us, it felt warm and lovely, but to them, it felt cold. And it's such a strange experience. Now, what you wear outside doesn't really matter all that much. But I think sometimes it takes an experience like that out of our comfort zone, experience with somebody outside of our culture, out of our regular circle, to see something about ourselves. For example, there have been times when I didn't realize that the way that I was living was hurting somebody else. And it took an experience of that person and even them being vulnerable and honest with me to show me what my sin looked like. I think that that's what Jesus is doing in this story with his friends. He's trying to show them that there are things in their lives that are broken. Those things are called sin. And they hurt themselves and they hurt others, but they're not stuck in those things. Those things aren't the most important thing to their identity. And the reason is because Jesus offers them the gift of freedom from their sins. It's such an amazing gift. Now, that doesn't mean that our sin doesn't matter. That doesn't matter how we hurt other people. But it means that we don't have to focus on those things so much, but that we can move beyond our sin, that we can seek forgiveness from God and from others, and that we can be free from our sin. We don't have to be obsessed over it. We need to face it and be honest about it and try to do our best not to commit those sins anymore, but that we are not held back in our relationship with God because of those bad things that we have done or continue to do. What an amazing gift from God. Now this week we celebrate the Reformation and the ways that Martin Luther has opened up the gospel to us and shown us that that freedom from sin is a free gift from God. That freedom is free. It is not always that way. Often freedom has to be fought for or earned. But in Jesus Christ, that gift of freedom is free. There were people who were in Martin Luther's day who were telling people that they needed to earn or even buy with money, that they had to buy their freedom from sin. But Martin Luther showed us that in the scriptures, in this scripture that you get to read today from John's gospel, that is not the case. That gift of freedom is from Christ. And that is an amazing thing. Just think about all the good things that you can do for others when you're not so focused on your own sin and the things that you need to make right with God. When you don't have to worry about every single little thing that you do holding you back from God. No, not at all, because freedom is a gift from God. I wonder if you've ever had the experience of somebody else helping you to see your sin and how to move forward out of it. I know I have close friends who've done that for me. There are books that I've read or movies that I've seen or even songs I've listened to that have helped me see the truth inside myself and how God is calling me forward in freedom from my sin. That is a hard thing, and it really can only be offered in love. Not in correction, not in I told you so, but in love. When we are open to it and when others are open to being vulnerable and sharing hard things with us. I hope that you have people like that in your lives. I hope that you're open to hearing it, because the gift of freedom from our sin is an amazing gift from God. I'll see you next time.